Yeah, what up YouTube? It's your boy Denali, aka Don Squally, back at y'all with another YouTube video, man. In this one, I am answering your questions. My last video that I put out last Sunday, I said that if you guys leave any and all comments down in the comment section, that I would be back to answer them. And I am a man of my word, so without further ado, your questions answered. And we are gonna get started with Jonathan Jara. Now please, forgive me if I mispronounce your guys' names. There's a lot of names for me to try to, get out first time. So he asked, what car do you have in real life? And I actually own a 2004 G35 sedan. Just picked it up last February. Before that, I owned a 05 Nissan Altima. So, loving the VQ. So gotta represent for that. Freddie Viveros wants to know, what state do I live in? I actually live in Canada, Toronto to be specific. Lived here my whole life, and gotta say, love it out here, man. Rise Butterfield wants to know, do I drift? Now, since I've gotten my car, I have done a little bit of drifting, only in the rain though, because I'm just trying to perfect the skill before I actually start ripping up tires and take it to the track. So yes, I do, but just in the rain for the time being. Dark Hazard, realistic dream car that I plan to own in the future. Now, ever since these cars came out, I've been a huge fan, and that is the AMG C63 sedan. Now, as they're getting a little bit older, they are getting a little bit more affordable, so definitely something that could potentially happen in the future. But I do hear that they are a lot on maintenance and stuff like that, so I may just stick with the Nissan brand and get like a nice 370Z or even a Q50. Really big fan of those. So realistic dream car, AMG C63 or the new Q50 by Infiniti. Terrell Myers wants to know, was I ever thinking about buying a 240SX or a Miata? Now, I definitely was. Back when I still had my Altima, I was gonna keep that for a long time as a daily, and I was looking into getting a project car. 240s here are really hard to come by. People definitely know what they have. Miatas a little bit more easier to come by, but I did put the suggestion out on my other channel, and that didn't get really good response. So people said they didn't want to see any more Miatas, specifically because there's so many YouTube channels that already have Miatas. So yeah, I was considering both, but now we got the new daily G35, so it's kind of the best of both worlds. I get a nice daily vehicle plus a little rear wheel drive fun. Saber wants to know, will you ever do a video on my gaming setup? Never really considered it actually, but yeah, I could actually do that. I got a few things that I record with. Currently I own a PS3, the Xbox One, and a Sega Genesis classic game console with a bunch of stuff built into that. So yeah, in the future I may actually, I may do that. Dale Jackson wants to know, how much pussy did I pull in the Maxima? Now, unfortunately, I owned an Altima. Had I owned a Maxima, I probably would have pulled a lot more, man. Let's just be honest. Savage Moto wants to know, dream car, realistic car as in a nice BMW, unrealistic car as a Lambo. Well, we went over my realistic. Now, I have to say, unrealistic would probably be to be honest, the Huracans are very dope, but I would settle for like a LP560, Gallardo, older Murcielago. Definitely a big fan of those. Yeah, I mean, I got the same kind of dream cars pretty much as everybody else. I'm definitely a big fan of the German imports. I don't know, maybe some kind of a Porsche GT-RS or something like that. And we have a question here that is not in English, looks like Russian. Sorry, but it actually looks like some kind of spam. Forever a Noob says he also got a new car, sold his Nissan and saved up, got a BMW M3. Big ups to you, Forever a Noob, man. Love to hear that. If you got an IG, drop that down. I'd love to see some pictures of it, man. Forever a Noob also wants to know, how old are you, and will I ever do a face reveal and face cam? I just turned 30 last September, so I'll be 31 this coming September, so old as a motherfucker. Will I ever do a face reveal? Actually, I do have another channel, youtube.com/DNALI, that's DNALI, and I do face reveals on that channel all the time, man. I put out videos weekly, and my face is always on that channel. And he also wants to know, will I give him some cheese? I'm a big fan of Gouda, man. If I ever see you in person, that's a Dutch special. We gonna get you some cheese, homie. Most certainly. Elmer Salguero. Dude, oh, he's just informing somebody that I do have more than one channel. Justin Vance, do I like the new Top Gear? I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. Since they dropped the usual cast, I haven't even watched a single Top Gear episode. I think, I probably should, just because being a car guy, I should see what it's all about. But, me being on the bandwagon of boycotting and stuff like that, I can honestly say that I have not watched an episode yet. Kevin Food. What do you think of the new Top Gear, Corona or Dos Equis? Well, we answered the Top Gear question. Corona, Dos Equis, Dos Equis all day. Interesting shit all the time. Would I rather die in a fiery Prius or drive Nicki Minaj's Aventador to the club for the rest of my life? Well, I'm going to assume that Nicki Minaj's Aventador is a piece of work, so let's just see here. Nicki Minaj Aventador, and yeah, let me just get a good look on this thing before. Oh snap! I'm gonna be 100% honest, man. Fiery Prius all day. That shit is pretty damn ugly, man. Yeah, so moving on. Brandon Mitchell, where in Canada do I live? Toronto, Ontario, Etobicoke specifically. Will I drift the G35? I'm actually working on a drift montage. Like every time it rains, it hasn't rained down here in a long time, but when it does rain, I take it out, I do a couple of clips. So I am going to be putting out a little drift video of me drifting. Yes. Yes, I will be drifting it. I think I'll be getting a project car. Honestly, I'm currently saving up for either boost for the G35 or NOS for the G35, and if that happens, I will probably be getting another daily and turning the G35 into a project car, just because the G35 just is a better, it's an all-around good platform, rear-wheel drive, 6-speed. So I think if I was ever going to do a project car, I'd turn the G into a project car and get myself a new daily. Your mom's man, I have a question. Why in kilowatts of all my Forza videos? And why not use horsepower? Well, in Forza, it's based on the UK system. So when I turn it from miles per hour to kilometers per hour, it also changes the horsepower to kilowatts, which is what they use, I think, in the UK and Australia and stuff like that. So yeah, unfortunately, when you change the speedometer from miles per hour to kilometers an hour, also changes the horsepower to kilowatts. Kind of a pain in the ass, I understand. Anthony Marinez. That's an easy one. I shouldn't have fucked that up. My apologies, man. What was my first car? My first car actually was a 1994 four-door Cavalier, white. It was like a straight bucket. Had a 3.1 liter motor in it, so it was still relatively quick. I raced quite a few cars back in high school with it, and surprisingly won. Yeah, so it was a shit box, but it was a first car, so whose first car isn't? Connor Surdike, do I like the smell of butthole in the morning? I would, to be honest, I'd much more prefer it right after a shower. To me, after a night of sleep in and being all sweaty and shit, I can't imagine that a butthole would smell very good. So yeah, I'd say definitely either before bed or after a shower. What's my dream car? How old am I? Answered both those questions. Yeah, old as fuck, to be honest. Johnson Brandon 13 wants to know what happened to the Altima. I actually was in an accident last winter, coming home from work, and you know, there was traffic, just stopped dead in the middle of the road, and you know, I rear-ended somebody, wrote that son of a bitch off. Luckily there was actually a cop right on the side of the road who had somebody pulled over, so he saw the whole thing, and you know, it's he said it is what it is. Can't win them all. And Luis Torres Castro, hold on, how old am I, and what car do I own? Already went over both those questions. That G35 and old as a mofo. So yeah, that is gonna bring an end to this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and you know, found out a little bit more about me, since basically all that I do is talk about cars on this channel. And yeah, so if you guys want to see more, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. If you guys want to see that face reveal, head over to youtube.com/DNALI. That's Denali. And yeah, I do all types of car videos. You guys can also see car videos of the actual car that I own, plus the Altima that I owned in the past, and other just crazy stuff that I do with my life. So with that being said, I just want to say thank you guys for all your questions, all you guys that did ask questions, man. The engagement is the reason that I continue to do what I do for you guys. So I just want to say thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. And as always, stay tuned, stay locked, and we're going to catch y'all at the next one, man.